Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Will and Wise, the Dog Show Drive.
Canadian edition.
I'm Will Alexander.
And I'm Y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This week on the Dog Show Drive, we're going to talk about the fires that are going across Canada. And do you have a plan in place if you're asked to evacuate?
Yep.
We're also going to talk about the World Dog Show in Helsinki. Over 20,000 dogs at the World Dog Show in Helsinki. And then we're going to talk about another important topic: keyboard warriors. What are they doing to us?
Yep.
And last week's question of the week. All that
and more
on this week's Will and Wise, the Dog Show Drive.
Canadian edition.
How was your weekend?
Exhausting. It was very, very busy.
Dog show. We had the Wyvon Kennel Club this weekend, didn't you?
Yes, the North Shore Dog Club. Yes, my show, and well, not my show, but my club show was this weekend. Megan, our trusty producer here, she's part of that club, so she's our show super. So, yep, we had, and I'm the chief.
She is super.
She is super. She's just super. But on the last day of the show, she wears a shirt that says, "I have rabies." So no one. And I only noticed her having to possibly go tackle one person. So that was pretty good. Well, because it rained on the Saturday. It rained quite a bit. We had Megan and I, we do all the decisions. So we decided, we delayed the show for an hour. Because there was a lot of lightning at that time too. Thunder Bay, go figure. And the ground, of course, got very, very wet. So then on the Sunday morning, well, actually Saturday after the show, the few people that were using this laneway that they really weren't supposed to be, how the grass gets, and so it was a little bit almost on the trashed side. So Megan had put up pylons and stuff like that. And of course, dog show people just moving the pylons. And I just hear her, I see her shoot out of our one building. She's like, no, running across the lawn. So I was there to back her up. If someone needs to be taken down, I was there for her. But no, we had a great show. The weather actually was pretty good. I mean, we just had that rainstorm in the morning, but our 5th anniversary went as planned, and we had some great judges. We had Peter Frost from Australia, Pierre Talbot,
my friend Peter Frost,
John Delisle from Quebec, Pam Bruce, Rosemary Shorman. Oh, our friend of the show, Sean Bennett, he was also here.
Oh, Sean Bennett.
Yeah, and then we had our chairman of the board, Corinne Walker. She judged the working dog specialty here, and Sandra Alder also did a permit.
She's one of the students in my class, my handling class.
Oh well, you'll have to quiz her on her trip to Thunder Bay. But no, we had a great time. We had a great time. Fun was had by all. So we had some lovely dogs here. Yep, we had a dog from Lithuania.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and Alaska Malamute, because the Alaska Malamute Club of Canada had their national with us. So, yeah, it was good. So,
very nice, very nice.
Other than that, I'm just exhausted. I'd just like to thank the Thunder Bay CEDC for their generosity. And to my major sponsors as well, because I get a lot of local sponsors for our show, which we all appreciate.
That's good.
Yeah. So it's all hugs and kisses all around. It was awesome. And you were busy too. You went to a dog show.
I judged a dachshund specialty in Indiana, in Columbus, Indiana.
Yeah.
I did the Dachshund Club of Southwestern Ohio. I see your dog show drive. Excellent.
My mug. I got my mug.
Yeah.
Call my mug.
Linda Torrance from Show Scene, she accompanied me. So we went together, and that was a lot of fun. And it was a very good entry. It was like 80 dachshunds.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was a nice event, and I had some beautiful dogs. I was really excited about it. I got a passing grade from the Weenie Queen, Linda.
The weenie queen. The weenie
And
queen.
but then on the way home,
What?
we stopped in Fairmount, Indiana.
All
Do you
right,
know
you're
what's in
telling.
Fairmount, Indiana?
Yes, only because you told me. The
Oh, I thought you
James
did.
Dean Museum.
Exactly. Fairmount, Indiana was the hometown of James Dean. And
Wow.
Linda was not aware of that. So there was this Graceland right there that she didn't even
Right
know
there.
about.
Wow.
Yeah. So we stopped there and we went to the museum. It was my
Mhm.
third time there. And we went through the museum and we purchased some souvenirs and whatnot. She even purchased a cookbook. And I get something like Cook like James Dean, which I don't think. He was only 24. I'm sure. I don't know if he
Pretty
even.
sure that was a cash grab.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Maybe
there
it
was
was
different.
maybe it was his favorite foods.
Yeah, but there was different personalities in his life. Like Jim Backus from Gilligan's Island,
Yeah.
Mr. Thurston
Uh,
Howell III. He
yes.
was in Rebel Without a Cause, so there was Jim Bacchus lasagna or something
Oh.
like that. So
Oh,
yes, it was all
interesting.
these. So there was a tie into
Some
James Dean.
some relation, like 6 degrees of separation.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
okay.
we got our photographs. The curator Lenny came out and took our photograph in front of the sign,
Yeah.
and then we toured the town. We went to his home that's still
Mm.
there. And his cousin still lives there. We
His
didn't see
cousin
him
lives in
though.
his house or his
His
old house.
cousin, well, where he grew up, so it's his
Okay.
cousin's parents' house
Okay.
because
Okay.
he
Okay.
lived with his aunt and uncle. And
Oh, I was unaware of that.
oh yeah, oh well, Linda, one of the
You
biographies I have.
should. You should.
Yeah, and so we went into the house, and we looked at the house for a while, and then we went to a motorcycle shop that he liked to go to
Oh,
all the
yeah.
time. And I got
Yep.
my photograph there. Then we went to the cemetery and saw his
Oh, his
plaque and
headstone?
stuff.
Oh.
Yeah,
Does he
so
have a
and
headstone or is he in a mausoleum? What's the deal there?
he had a headstone. He had
Oh,
a
okay.
headstone.
So he was.
And he's there with the rest of his family, like his dad is there and his uncle and aunt are there.
Uh-huh.
It was very somber, and then and then
It's very
so,
somber.
yeah.
Then you laugh.
Well, and then we drove home. Well,
Uh-huh.
we spent a good morning there, but Lenny took our pictures, and
Yeah.
he said he was going to put it on the Facebook page of the James Dean Gallery Museum Facebook page,
Yeah.
and because I told him I was from Millbrook, and that's where one of the James Dean biopics was filmed in Millbrook. Millbrook was to
Yep.
take over Fairmount, so I thought, I told him that he's going to put that in the little blurb, blah blah blah. Well, Linda, even though she's never seen a movie and didn't show a lot of interest, she was following the Facebook page because today she sent me a picture that Lenny put up of us. Like I could see me finding it, but Linda found it before I found
Linda
it,
was on
and
it.
then
Linda
sent it
was
to
on
me.
it.
Yeah,
That's
so
hilarious.
she was. Yeah, so now we're famous on the James Dean Museum page. Yeah,
Should
so, yeah, it was
somehow
very-
try and tag the Dog Show Drive page with it.
Yeah.
Dog Show Drive.
I should have thought of that. And then we stopped at the home of Luke and Diane Eric on the way
Oh,
home. And we had I told Lyd we had 32 minutes and 16 seconds left on our schedule that could fit in Luke and Diane.
Luke and Diane.
So we stopped and saw Luke and Diane. We had we had a drink, but like a non-alcoholic drink.
Yeah.
And we chatted and whatnot. And
Oh, good.
then my watch went off at 32:16, and we packed up and left.
Too bad we couldn't be more regimented on the show. Did you start
But
the
it
timer?
was-
Do we need to watch?
I've got the timer started. Yeah, we've
Okay,
already
good.
been 10 minutes almost.
All right. That's good.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was my weekend. It was a very exciting weekend. Had a good
Good,
time,
good,
really
good.
good time. Got to
Good.
see a lot of old friends. It was like Lorraine Bisa was on the panel with me, so I got to spend Irish Setter time with Lorraine.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
I met Lorraine first time when I lived in San Antonio. That's where I got to know her through Bruce and Mary
She's
Foote.
so nice, and she listens to the show. So
oh, that's
yeah,
very kind of her. Yeah,
yeah,
very
yeah.
nice.
Unless she was just telling me a story, but she listens to the show.
All right.
Yeah, so that's that. Before we get going, I wanted to mention the passing of Janet Black. She was Janet was a wonderful lady. She was so nice. She would help anybody. Who's a Barbet breeder? Was Tree Beard Barbets.
Yeah,
and I believe she was. I think she had the first Best in Show Barbet in Canada, and she's had a lot of multiple group winners and the Best in Show winners. But she, besides how well she did for Barbets, because she did put them on the map up here. But she was a wonderful lady. She was really a nice lady, and always there to help, always there with a smile. Yeah. And win or lose, you wouldn't know the difference. You know, if you saw her and asked her how her day was, you wouldn't. I had dinner with her a few times at a show because we were staying at the same hotel, and so we had dinner. And she's just a wonderful lady. So I'm sorry to hear that. Our thoughts go out to her family.
Yes,
but she was a wonderful lady.
Yeah, the Barbet world will definitely miss her.
Pardon me? You're not close enough to my...
I'm sorry. The Barbet world will definitely miss her for sure.
Yes. Quite the storm happening here now. We went from like 100 degrees to a hurricane storm now. If I lose you, Yvonne, then you know I'm
on my own.
But you'll be okay with it. You'll be okay.
I'll be fine. I'm sure. I'll just pretend it's a normal day as I talk to myself as I usually do. But the weather is crazy. Exactly. The weather is crazy. So you've got your instant storm there. We've had, before the show started, we were talking about, fires, and I was like, what fires? And you thought I was like mental. But my area of the province is always on fire at this time of year. We're always battling fires. So
it's all over the place right now. Yeah. It's in Newfoundland and in the Maritimes, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and there's some parts of Ontario. Some Kawartha Lakes are fighting fires right now.
Well, and they had a lot, I think, through Saskatchewan too, because actually on the Thursday here, we had a lot. Like our air quality advisories have just been lifted. We've had several over the course of the last 2 weeks, and on Thursday, we couldn't see the sleeping giant. And that's like something you can definitely see, but that's how much smoke cover we had. It was very, very hazy here. So
we've had a lot of that. But it's getting scary out there because they're talking evacuations and whatnot in certain areas. And a friend of the show, Janice Kivimaki, she messaged me about it because she's been through it 2 or 3 times already where they've had to evacuate. And she thought it would be nice if we could maybe give an idea of evacuation and whatnot, what's important and what's to have.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I don't have much, experience with that because I've never had to experience that. So she wrote us out. I said, we're recording in 2 hours. I said, you've got that long to get something together for me. And lo and behold, she did. So this is Janice Kivimaki from Mad About Labs.
Yes.
But she wrote down this like a
kind
list
of a guideline, a guide for you.
Yeah. Like food and water. She said, make sure you have a 3 to 7 day supply of food and water in waterproof containers along with bowls, can opener for foods if needed, cooler packs for your raw fed dogs. Because we're talking about if we have dogs during this emergency. Medications, a week's supply of any necessary medications, human and animal, with copies of prescriptions and medical records, name, phone number, veterinarian or vet's office. These are things that I know. I know it's frightening, but if there's a chance that this is going to happen to you, you should have these lists and start filling them out so you are prepared and ahead of the game. Pet file includes recent photo of the animal, your emergency numbers, contact information for friends who could house your pet, copies of any licenses and vaccination records, CKC files on all your current dogs, pet-specific first aid kit with items like gauze, tape, antiseptic wipes, and a pet first aid book, as well as a human first aid book, which comes in handy. Collar with ID tags, with your contact information, leashes, and backup leashes.
This is a
Familiar
very
to-
important thing, especially for us dog people, because how many of your dogs wander around your house? Your show dogs have collars.
None of them.
None. So to have a actual collar, whatever kind of buckle collar that has your information on it, because heaven forbid something in the confusion or whatever happens that a dog gets out, at least if they've got a collar on them with a phone number, you're a lot more fortunate.
Chances go up. Your
Yes.
chances go up.
Exactly.
There's no question.
Exactly.
She talks about familiar toys and treats and bedding to help reduce the stress of your animals, which is important.
And your
If you
humans.
lose me by chance, I'm starting to get thunder and lightning. So if you lose me,
I'll carry on. I'll carry
might
on,
say-
Will.
I might start into Les Nessman. Oh, the humanity.
A great episode.
Yeah.
The ground like
And
wet
then-
bags of cement.
And Janice goes on to talk about sanitation, waste bags, newspaper, paper towels, plastic bags, litter box if you need it, cleaning supplies if you have puppies, supplies, and food for puppies. If you have a dog that gets stressed, be sure to have a muzzle on hand because you never know, right? You never know what they're going to
for
get into.
everybody's safety. Yep.
Yep. A sturdy carrier or crate for each pet, labeled with your contact information. Do you have enough for all your animals? Can they be crated together? Is that identified somewhere? If you aren't home, have a list of what dogs can be crated with and what dog, if you are relying on someone else to move your dogs. Don't wait to put those very kennels together. Have them ready in event of emergency. Establish a buddy system. Make plans with your neighbors if you have to in the event that you can't get home.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, know where you're going. Have a plan. Have a backup plan in case you can't get to where you're planning on going. Have enough water on hand in the event you get stalled somewhere. Have enough gas in your vehicle. That's another important one.
Yeah.
Pay attention to news updates and social media updates. Know the difference between legitimate Facebook pages, which is important because we do get a lot of misinformation out there.
Yep.
And then she has, don't wait. Most times you have less than 30 minutes to evacuate. Can all your dogs fit in your vehicle? If not, have a plan. Because that's frightening. Can you imagine if you got the evacuation alert and you had to leave your house in 30 minutes without being ready?
Yeah.
Like, that's frightening.
Yeah.
Remove solar lights, sun catchers, cover glass deck tables. All these have the potential of causing a fire with the hot sun reflecting off of them. Close dog doors, dampers on fireplaces and windows. Like, that's something I would never even think about. I wouldn't think about my glass
your top on
table.
Yeah.
Like, I would never even think, but this is what, it happens. Like, you hear about these like self-combustion almost, right? It's
and even like closing your dog doors, I would never think, but that's, you're trying not to let that oxygen, get in, and
crazy.
That's,
Take pictures of the outside of your house and outbuildings. Video each room carefully so you have a record of your belongings in the event that insurance needs proof. That's another frightening thought. Email those to yourself so you can always have a copy. Check on your neighbor or an elderly person you may know of in the area. If you can't take all your animals with you, leave them loose. That's a frightening thought.
It's frightening, but it is. It
makes
increases their chances.
Think about it, makes sense.
Yeah,
but it's a frightening thought.
Well, especially for animals we just think about dogs, but like horses and cattle, goats, something that you may not be able to take or get into a trailer. Like, you're not going to fight with a horse that has never been trailered before. That is your 30 minutes to 2 hours sometimes trying to get them in.
That's
so leaving
crazy.
them loose gives them the most success rate of success on survival, and they will always come home. They do. So
have a plan in place before you need it. Use social media to check on folks in an area. Use social media if you need help with evacuation. Remember, if you are evacuating, you may not be able to get back back in if you are moving dogs out, it's a good idea to have one person stay back just in case. See, I never thought about that. That's a good idea too. Like if you take the first load of dogs out or animals, and then all of a sudden you can't get back in, there's more dogs there. But if you leave a person there, they're going to let that person get out.
Yeah.
If you're on an evacuation alert, and if possible, always have one person stay at home in the event you can't get back into the area.
Yeah.
How much and how fast you can do in less than 30 minutes. Think about it and plan ahead.
And that's what it comes down to, is planning ahead. But sometimes, like you and I both sit here, I've never been evacuated.
No, me either.
Right? So for
I've had
us,
to get out of places fast, but I've never.
you and me both. You and me both. That's another show altogether.
Yeah,
but
no, it is a frightening situation, and my heart goes out to anybody that is in the middle of this. With all this rain I'm getting right now, I'm hoping it's falling in other places so that it's
for sure
easing up on people.
Yeah.
But thank you, Janice, for sending that in and alerting us to that. So it's important. And again, anybody else, like I love that Janice took the initiative and contacted us about this important. So if anybody else has these ideas or thoughts they need to get out that they want us to discuss, please feel free to reach out to us, because we're here for everybody. I talk about us being public broadcasting, but we are.
Well, we are.
For our dog show world, we are public broadcasting. Yes. So,
and you can email us at what are we called?
Dogshowdrive@gmail.com.
Yes. Megan says we don't.
Dogshowdrive@gmail.com. Not the Dog Show Drive. It's just dogshowdrive@gmail.com.
Dogshowdrive@gmail.com. Yes.
Because now we are the public broadcasting. We should have a Jerry Lewis telethon.
Oh, right. Let's book the talent.
Get Kramer on for us.
Kramer, remember when Joey on Friends wanted to? He was trying to get in the shot.
Okay, now back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Well, what we were also going to talk about, you were talking about, you knew of a handler that got stranded.
Yes, Hiram Stewart. Hiram Stewart got stranded on the side of the road. If you don't know who Hiram is, he shows a lot of toy dogs.
Yes.
He's a very, very good handler, and a very professional man, too. He got stuck, and he couldn't get anybody out to him, so he ended up spending the night in his truck on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he had like CAA, but their version of CAA. I'm sure he had some sort of roadside assistance. But he was there all night long,
Yep. So Megan made up a little list for us to share with you about some of the things to keep in mind when we go on a road trip. So before you leave, road trip essentials for dog show. So travel and safety. So, if you don't have something with your motor vehicle as far as an assistance service, because a lot of the when you buy a new vehicle, you'll often get roadside assistance for 2 or 3 years. But if you don't, a CAA membership or a AAA membership, they're worth their money. They really are.
Yeah, but you know what's happening now, though, is CAA will not cover dog show commercial vehicles.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah, so there is an issue out there. So I forget what some people are using different forms of it, like up here, Key and Tire offers it and whatnot.
Yeah.
But there are some stories about travelers that had CAA and weren't getting any help because it's
almost like a specific insurance. Right? Yeah. Specific insurance, that same thing. So, definitely check into that before if you need that. GPS and paper map backup.
Always have a paper map.
Yeah. That's hard to say.
Always. I have maps in all my vehicles. I want my baby back, baby record. I want my baby back.
Paperback. In case you have poor cell service, and for me driving around northern Ontario, so there's just one road, but still. I need a
Head
map.
north, Yvonne. Head north.
Head north. Well, it's actually always west. It's west I'm going. Vehicle safety check. Before you hit the road, if for someone like me, who I think I speak for most of our listeners, that, you go to a show once a month or maybe even a couple times a month, get your vehicle checked out. So make sure your tires are, they have enough air in them. Your fluids are all topped up, brakes, air conditioning, especially at this time of year. You'd be surprised how often your air conditioning unit needs to be recharged.
Oh, exactly. Don't want that pooching on you halfway through the trip.
Exactly. First aid kits. It's always a great idea to have a first aid kit, not just for the dogs, but for yourself as well in your car. So, and that, like we said before, including bandages, antiseptic wipes, tweezers, and vet wrap. And then an emergency contact list. You should have one inside your vehicle. So that includes your vets, your show superintendent that you may be going to the show, and any travel companions. Make sure that you have their information too, just in case something happens. And then specifically for the dogs, crates or travel kennels, sturdy and secure and comfortable for the drive and at the show. Because sometimes you'll bring two crates, one for in the vehicle and one for at the show building or in your hotel room. Cooling and heating solutions such as crate fans, reflective cover, shade cloths, or warming blankets, depending on the season. Extra leashes, slip leads, and collars, right? Just in case something breaks, or you may pick up an extra dog on the road. You never know.
It's true. But all the time I was asked, "You take this dog home for me, or can you meet up so-and-so?" And you need those. That's an extra dog. It's an extra passenger. You need to have extras.
Exactly. Water and travel bowls. Keep bottled waters or jugs from home to avoid any stomach upsets. Dog food and treats, enough for the trip, plus some extra in case of any delays. Show supplies, that's obvious, your grooming kit and that waste supplies such as your poo bags, paper towels, and enzymatic cleaner. And then for us, our important documents, dog registration papers, proof of rabies vaccination, entry confirmations. If you're crossing the border, you need your passports. Don't forget those things. And the CDC form to go back and forth.
One time I was planning a trip. I was going back and forth a lot to America, and I was getting ready to leave. I couldn't find my passport. I looked everywhere for it, and I was freaking out. Finally, I called the border, and they said they had it there, because I remember crossing late at night, and I started talking to the customs official. We started talking about hockey, and I handed him my passport. And I left without getting it because we just chatted the whole time about the Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens. He was a Canadiens fan. I was a Leafs fan. So it got a little heated, but then
probably why you kept your passport.
Probably I keep that bugger's passport.
Tabernacle.
He wasn't French Canadian. He was just a Habs fan.
Yes.
But yeah, it freaked me out. So I had to go pick it up before I crossed back over. So
yeah. And then there's other, your comfort items, your snacks, your drinks, travel pillow, change of clothes, etc. Snacks. Like the snacks. Weather gear. Always have your raincoat and hat, gloves, boots, depending on the forecast. Sunscreen. That's another big item I tend to forget, and I should not, because I could just burst into flames at any given time.
For the PC White Club.
Yeah, the PC White Club for sure. Cash and credit cards. Some show sites have vendors or parking, and they are cash only, which is
another important thing, though, is especially if you're on the side of the road, like Hiram was, a generator.
Yeah.
You have a generator so you can keep these things going for your dogs. You know?
And lastly, make sure your hotel reservations are appropriate and dog friendly if you are taking dogs back to the room. Because there's nothing worse than getting to a hotel and finding out that you don't take dogs.
I remember being on the road with Piper, and they had booked me a hotel reservation. This little mom and pa hotel up north somewhere. And I went, they wouldn't take Piper. And I said, he has his own room in the Four Seasons, let alone this mom and pa place. But they wouldn't take him. I traveled to the dog show.
Well, how rude was that?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, portable X pens. That's a good idea as well.
Yeah. So that
Tarp or mat to keep crates and area clean. Spare keys. That's important because how many times have exactly? And I remember one time I forget what show I was at, and I tossed the keys on the seat and closed the door, and it all happened in slow motion. I had to call. No. I had to call AAA to come and get my keys out.
Yeah.
If I had another one hidden, like underneath the wheel well, where we all hide our keys and anything, but then I wouldn't have had the issue. But that everybody does. Right? They make that thing that put underneath the wheel well.
That little magnet, it almost looked like a mint. Like it was a mint container with the special key was in there. Yep.
Under the wheel well. If you're a thief, look under the wheel well.
Yeah. I remember at one show, this is when I was a kid, we went to a dog show and my mom had like 3 sets of keys to our van. And I managed to lock every set of keys in the van. I was not very popular that day. Not at all.
I'm sure. And travel insurance, that's always important. I can attest to that.
It is an important item to have for sure. Yeah. And it's just like Megan says here, for peace of mind, just in case. In case.
All right. So what's next, Yvonne?
Finally, across Canada. Driven by Show Scene magazine. Show Scene, where every dog takes center stage. So it was a busy weekend across the country.
We should videotape Lyd saying that and just throw it in there.
That would be good.
That'd be funny.
Do you think she would do a little dance?
I don't know. Doodle dance, have a little lunch, get down tonight. Doodle dance, have a little lunch.
Get down tonight. If Hope listens to this, she'll laugh because she always thinks it's hilarious when you do that. Switch out lunch.
With love, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
sorry. Back to our across Canada.
Regularly scheduled broadcasting here on the public broadcasting system.
Exactly. Okay, out in Courtenay, BC, the Alberni Valley Kennel Club, August 5th to the 7th. It had 3 shows, had a total entry of 428 dogs, which was just slightly down from the previous year of 445. And then we had
3 shows that year as well. So about the same. A little drop.
Little drop. And then Glacier View Kennel Club, August 8th through the 10th, also in Courtenay, BC. It had 3 shows and the total entry of 510 dogs, and that is up slightly from last year's 3 shows of 501. So good job.
Excellent.
Yes. And then this year out in Edmonton Kennel Club, August 7th through the 10th, held in Edmonton, Alberta. 4 shows with a total entry of 1,114 dogs. And that's down a bit, down a fair amount from the previous year of 4 shows of 1,260 dogs. So that's a bit of a drop there. But
a little bit, yeah. Over the weekend, it's not that bad. So.
No, you probably wouldn't notice if you actually attended, but we just noticed because of the numbers. Then our North Shore Dog Club. The
Yvonne Dog Club, yeah.
The North Shore
and Karaoke Club.
Okay, Megan did that on purpose because, and I'm telling you right now, Megan, if that video hits our Facebook page, you are going to be some's in troubles.
Why? What video?
You better not post it either, because I know she sent it to you. And she played all my be quiet. Anyway.
You be quiet.
Our show in Thunder Bay, Ontario, held at the lovely Chippewa Park overlooking Lake Superior. We had 5 shows, a total of 675 dogs. And that was up from last year. We had 5 shows and we only had 546 dogs. So
excellent. Must have been the karaoke night that got them all there.
There was, never mind. I do want to do a karaoke night. I think I could pull it off too.
Great
Bruce. You think?
Have you started practicing your lane dance yet?
Yeah, I did that night also.
All right.
Okay,
You can do
so Grey Bruce Kennel and Obedience Club, August 5th through the 7th in Owen Sound, Ontario. 5 shows had a total entry of 879 dogs, which was up from the previous year of 5 shows.
That's excellent. It's over 100 up. That's excellent.
Yeah, 751 dogs the previous year.
Yeah.
And then there was
Wow,
also
good for them.
Kilbride Kennel Club held in Caledonia, Ontario, August 8th through 11th. And they had 4 shows with a total entry of 765 dogs. And that's up from last year's
Way
4
up.
shows.
Yeah, it's
500.
way up. Good for them.
Way up of 525 dogs. So
Yeah,
very
it's
good.
almost 200 dogs up. That's excellent.
Yes.
Good. That's a good sign. It's a
Good sign. And that was across Canada. I don't even know.
Canada.
Kanata. Wasn't that what it was first? Kanata? Anyway, across Canada, presented to you by Show Scene Magazine. Show Scene, where every dog takes center stage. And then our upcoming shows, and they're brought to you by Canuck Dogs, your source for Canadian dog show events online. So this is for September. And we went through these last week, but we'll quickly go through them again. Lower Mainland Dog Fanciers of BC, starting on September 18th through to the 21st, and that has 4 all-breed shows. Then Club Canin Chomedey in Terrebonne, Quebec, starting September 19th, ending on the 21st. And it has 3 all-breed shows, limited breed shows for groups 1, 3, and 7, 6 obedience and 6 rally obedience trials. And then we have Sudbury and District Kennel Club, held in Coniston, Ontario, home of Toe Blake. Starting on September 19th, ending on the 21st. And it's 6 all breed shows. And we have a closing date for that one, September 9th, just because it's on here. I'll read it. And then Oromocto Kennel Club in Cross Creek, New Brunswick, September 24th. This confused me last time. So
That's a question mark. Is that Grand Burgundy? September 24th.
I know. It just triggered. I remember now because this is, there's 2 clubs that do this weekend. So Oromocto is on the 24th and they have 2 all breed shows. And then if I can find it, Fredericton Kennel Club also is on the 25th, and they have 2 all breed shows. And then, and those are all held in Cross Creek, New Brunswick. And then Mount Cheam Canine Association in Chilliwack, BC, starts September 25th, ends on the 28th, closes on, I believe, September 10th. And it has 4 all-breed shows, 3 rally obedience trials, 3 obedience trials, and 5 rally obedience trials. And then we go to Burlington Kennel and Obedience Club in Grassy, Ontario, September 26th through the 28th. And it has 3 all-breed shows, limited breed shows for groups 4, 7, and Dogs of Asia.
Oh, we did talk about that.
Yes, and that closing date, I believe, is September 10th as well. Lloydminster Kennel and Obedience Club in Lloydminster, Saskatchewan, because there's a Lloydminster, Alberta too, right?
No.
Yes, there is.
I was not aware of that.
Well, now you are. And that start date is September 26th, ends on the 28th. And that's 6 all-breed shows, 4 obedience trials, and 4 rally obedience trials. And finally, we have Miramichi Kennel Club, which I believe is the last day of that weekend in Cross Creek, New Brunswick. And that's on the 26th, and it ends on the 28th. And they have 6 all-breed shows. And that was your upcoming shows brought to you by Canuck Dogs, your source for Canadian canine event information online. And just for 2 closings coming up, Pictou County Kennel Club closes on the August 20th at 6 p.m., which is next week. Holy crap, that's already next week, the 20th of August. Sorry.
Wow.
Holy crap. And the show secretary for that show is Nancy McRae. And the Heart of the Continent Kennel Club, also closing on Wednesday the 20th, or when the limit is reached. And the show secretary there is Trina Gallup. And actually, Trina Gallup, she was at my show and she did a best baby puppy and show assignment.
Very nice. Very nice.
She's lovely. She's a really nice person. And she's a really good cook, because for the Assiniboine Club, she makes all of their lunches and bake stuff. And you are not hungry when you leave that judge's room. That's for sure. And the other big thing that we should talk about that happened over the past week or so was the World Dog Show, Will.
Yeah, the World Dog Show.
The World Dog Show. What are we doing for time?
All right, now let's go back to World Events. This is a new feature. So this is World Events.
Brought to you by Leading Edge Dog Show Academy, where your success is our success.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right.
And the World Dog Show held in Helsinki, Finland. You know what's always funny? I always see the World Dog Show, and then I see where it's held, and I'm like, oh, that would have been a great place to go to.
Oh, exactly. Like I've only been to one. I went to Sweden, and it was so much fun.
I would love to go to Sweden.
Oh, it was so much fun. I took Brubeck the Chesky there.
Oh,
but it was
right.
So much fun. It was so and Jamie came with me, and Kim Groves was there. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of fun. So a lot of fun. Yeah.
So, I have Swedish blood in me. I'm a Viking.
Do you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So anyway, these results are from Canine Chronicle. Thank you, Canine Chronicle. The show date was Saturday. Well, the best in show date, I guess, right? It was Saturday, August the 10th. And they had a total entry of 23,000.
Wait a second. 23,851. So if you went best in show there, you'd probably end up top dog all breed in Canada.
For 3 years. Okay.
That's incredible, though, isn't it? That's
it. It is amazing. So the best in show judge was Mr. Hari Lekkonen, and the Petit Basset Griffon Vendine, Black Majesty, some say
Ivy
Rasic from Croatia. Right? And then the Xolo Standard Master Rock Calico, owned by Silvia Tojo and Miguel Alonso from Mexico. Now handled by Dylan Kip, and I can't remember her married name. Keith, right? That's her married name.
Yes, Keith. Friend of the show, Dylan Keith.
Dylan Keith, yes. Dylan. The problem when you have known people since they were little.
Since they were kids, right?
And I guess the third, how do they do it? Because I guess they picked the top four. So in the third spot was the Border Collie, Pukawaji.
Border Collie.
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 Okay, I'm having trouble saying the kennel name. Could we just not worry about the collie thing? Pukawaji, the Moon in Winter, owned by Ashley and Lynette and Jared Tyler from Australia.
I know Jared. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
excellent.
Then fourth in the show is English Springer Spaniel. Lord Set, the winner takes it all. Dominika Wyzynewska from Poland. So congratulations.
And Jared Tyler, that's excellent. Congratulations, Jared. And friend of the show, Brett Hamilton, he won the hound group with his Afghan hound, too. So, and that was great. So
very nice.
And he's originally from Australia, so he and Jared were both in the best in show ring. Probably because Jared's a handler. That's an incredible feat, guys. Congratulations.
Yeah. Then we've got some Canadian winners. Emily Burden, friend of the show, she won Best of Breed with her Border Terrier, the one she shows named Whiskey. Yes. Yeah. And then Amanda Kelly, also a friend of the show. Manchester Trelay.
Yep, Trelay.
Trelay, she won the breed as well. And then Nicole Casavecchia won the breed in Elk Hounds.
Yeah, so it's a good showing by Canadians as well. Yes. That's wonderful.
Yes, very good for making the trip there. And all of that.
So that was World Events brought to you by
Leading Edge Dog Show Academy, where your success is our success. Back over to you, Will.
And back to you, Will.
So, our topic of the week.
Topic of the week. This is an interesting topic.
Okay, brought to you by Canadian Dog Fancier, a weekly summary of purebred dog events across North America.
Yeah. So this is a little bit touchy too, but it's interesting. There was a few events this week, social media events. I don't really want to get into them because there's not time.
Go search them out.
Yep, but social media effects on our sport. Mm-hmm. Megan, our Garcia of our show, she came up with a lot of notes, positives and negatives. But you and I both know what social media can do to events and to people and to dogs. Mm-hmm. There's so many keyboard warriors that they grow backbones when they're sitting behind their computer, and they'll say whatever they want. And sometimes it's not true. And sometimes it is true, but it's, I'm not sure it's the platform, but I guess.
I also find that online, to me, if I wasn't at that event, I have nothing to say about that event. That's just me. And you and I both know, something happens in Ontario and, westward on, everyone will have they'll have an opinion about it, even though they weren't there, and they speculate a lot and assume a lot of things as well. And what
happens when you assume?
Yes.
My grade 7 teacher taught me this. If you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Thank you, Mr. Welsh, grade 7, Millbrook High School, Philip Public School.
But it's true, and and people do make a lot of assumptions, and often you're only, like we always say, there's 3 sides to every story.
Right.
His, hers, and the truth, right?
But sometimes there was one on the weekend that just went like wildfire. It just had like 400 comments before you knew it. Everybody jumped on board, and that one was involving politics and dogs as well. So I think it was. I don't want to get into it.
No, but that is kind of the heated discussion of everything, kind of now,
and
right?
It's just so divisive. It's just it's divided our sport so much. Happens up here as well. Like you look, and there's division in our sport as well due to political stances. I don't think it's a place. I don't think our sport should be a place for politics at all.
No.
But that's another story. And then there was a few little battles in between. Some of them comical.
The commented one in Canada, if you can go find it online, I highly suggest it, because it was very witty and it was pretty funny, in my opinion.
It was funny. I'm going to say it, Yvonne. I don't know the whole thing, but I just remember the last part of it. It said, CPHA, come and get your kids. I started laughing when I read that. It was so funny.
It was funny. It was funny.
I tried not to follow the thread much, but a friend of the show, Doug McIntyre, followed it for me and sent me highlights because he found it humorous as well.
But it was funny, but
it's not. It is funny, but it's not the place.
It's not funny because we shouldn't as the population of dog show people, it's as my mom used to say, it's called airing your dirty laundry in public, and that's one thing we shouldn't be doing. That we should be more.
No, we shouldn't be doing that. And let's face it is, but we are dividing our sport again. It's very divisive and putting the you against the world and whatnot.
Yeah.
But and some people beg for it. Like you read some of these threads, and they beg for the relevancy of this. They want to create this because they want to be relevant out there in our sport. But
Well, because even a little while ago, and I know I'm going to sound like an old person, and it is a generational thing because the younger generation that's the only world they really have known, right? To post on social media what they're doing, et cetera, et cetera. I have no problem with that, but the problem I do have is the problem I have is the timing of things. When you put something out there, don't expect everyone to agree with what you're saying. And
exactly. You're going to get naysayers. Some people go on there looking for sympathy for something, and it's not always the case. Then you get hurt. Your what
feelings?
generation? We're Gen X, aren't we? What's the next gen?
Because we don't give a shit. Millennials. I don't. To be honest, I don't know.
Millennials. I don't know. But
millennials, Gen Z. Yeah, millennials, and then there's Gen Z. I think the girls are Gen Z. I think millennials are like 85.
But they get hurt.
Yeah.
Their feelings get hurt on social media. So be careful what you put out there for people to answer and criticize, and because they're not always going to agree with you, and you've thrown it out there for them. You put it out there in a public forum.
You open the door to your house. Don't expect people not to walk through it.
Right.
So, and
as much as like some of them, I read them just for like Lynn and I are just reading them as we're driving down the road just because it's funny, right? It's funny.
And it is like, thank you for the entertainment.
Right.
Overall, as the adults in the room, we have to now sit back and say,
I just a word of advice is before you send that, like you can make up your post, get it all ready, edit it, whatever, but long hard thoughts before you press that send button, okay? Because it's out there and people are going to respond to it.
I see something, it makes me upset or mad, and I'm going to give them my two, and then I think I type it all out, and I'm like, yep.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Delete. Keep scrolling.
I was at a situation this week. I was at the bank, and I won't say which bank, TD, and and I got really angry in line because they weren't. I got called to my terminal, and then that teller's terminal didn't work, so they moved me down to a terminal, an empty terminal. Well, then they just started. These customers started passing me. Finally, I walked over and said, "What about me over here?" "Oh, I'll be right with you." And then I was there for another 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and I watching even customers in line were looking at me and shrugging, and I'm like, so finally I said, "I'll see you guys later. I'm going to go to the one down the road." And I was all mad. You're going to write them a letter. I called them. I called the bank manager. I let him have it.
He just ripped right into him.
And after he kept saying, "I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir." And I kept throwing things at him. He said, "I can only say sorry so many times." I said, "I know, but it's making me feel better."
Well, it's a lot of times in like my line of work, I often have to call and, get something fixed for a client, and the person you're speaking to on the phone. And this is just general, and this is advice in life, general in life. And I'll be really mad because, it's something that should have never happened, et cetera, et cetera. But the person on the other end of the phone, they're not the ones who did it. So I always say to them, I'm going to start yelling at you. It's not your fault. I understand that, but I have to get this out here, and you need to tell someone in your workplace that it needs to get fixed. And Carolyn always laughs because I'm like, I'm about to start yelling at you.
Yeah, I get it. We better go through these positive negatives because we're running out of time, and we still have the question of the week to talk about.
The question of the week. Yes.
So we're still going to go the positive negatives of because Carolyn. Megan put on a lot of work in this, so we can't just push it aside.
Yes. So the positives.
Go ahead. Positives.
Raises awareness. Controversial and passionate posts can draw attention to important issues that might otherwise be overlooked, which is very true.
Yeah,
which it then encourages discussion. Even heated debates can bring people together to talk about rules, ethics, or changes to our sport.
And I love when people put up discussions. They'll even talk. There'll be a cut down dog, and they'll talk about the
Yeah.
skeletal,
Yep.
the skeletal of that dog. I think that's
Yeah.
great.
Perfect. Provides accountability. Public scrutiny can pressure organizations or individuals to maintain high standards, which is excellent.
We don't like being publicly scrutinized, so they're going to try to fix things.
Yep. Reaches a wider audience, and that is the truth about social media. Online commentary can introduce the sport to newcomers who may not have heard about it.
Yeah. The world's a small place now. Like social media
truly is.
has made the world a small place.
And then ultimately it can lead to improvements. Constructive criticism, even if delivered bluntly, can result in positive changes. So that's some of the positives that we have for social media. And now our negatives. Damages reputation, damage to reputations. Unverified accusations or personal attacks can harm individual standings in the community. And I think, we've always kind of said the dog show world, we're a little bit gossipy. Well, any industry doesn't matter, really. But it's now in this world of information, verifying your information, I think, is more than critical now. More than critical.
Or you throw it up there online.
Because at which the speed the information can now be distributed, being truthful and verified is more important than ever. And with that being said, it creates division. Hostile online exchanges can fracture relationships and create factions within our sport, which is true.
We see it all the time. We just spoke about that.
Yep.
We see that all the time.
All the time. Discourages participation. Newcomers or young members may avoid involvement after seeing negativity online. And why would you want to join a bunch of people that all they do is beat up on each other every weekend, right?
Yeah. And we're getting that a lot. We're getting that even with, I guess I'm not part of the CPHA anymore, but I see that. I see CPHA members throwing other members under the bus. That's not what it's about.
Stand united, folks. Stand united. Spreads misinformation, and that's what I was just saying. Rumors or false claims can travel quickly, overshadowing facts. And I think we really need to pay attention to that. Erode sportsmanship. The focus shifts from mutual respect and healthy competition to personal vendettas.
Oh, there's no question about that.
Yep. And it wastes energy. And I think this is one of the biggest things too. Time spent arguing online can be spent training, competing, or improving the sport, or grooming your dogs.
No question. The time someone spent writing a nasty post about somebody, they could be working on their own.
I know how much time I spend just looking at memes, never mind being nasty to someone. That's just exhausting. Yes. So that was our topic of the week, and that was brought to you by Canadian Dog Fancier Magazine, your weekly summary of purebred dog events across North America. So
do we want to tell them the question of the week before we get into last week's question of the week, since we just talked about it?
Oh, yes, we do. What is the question of the week? What was it again? It was a good one.
Question of the week.
Okay.
So the question of the week is brought to you by ProPlan. Fuel the champion in your dog. This week's question of the week is, what effect do online keyboard warriors have on the future and integrity of our sport?
Yes.
So think about that, people, and post.
Post it on our social media.
So that brings us back to last week's question of the week, which was overwhelming response.
Yeah, we had a lot.
We had a
lot.
Do you believe that foreign judges should have a tutorial about judging in Canada before they can undertake their assignments? Yes. So we got a lot of response there. Darlene St. John. Does it happen when our judges go out of continent? I believe so. Yes, I believe they all have tutorials on how they, even when I go to America, anything new, the AKC rep will fill me in on those things, so I'm prepared.
Yep. Joanne Pavey, friend of the show. Yes, it is a good idea. And to send them a link to the CKC website well in advance, as all necessary information can be found there. Finally, it is also the responsibility of the visiting judge to be prepared before judging in a foreign country. I can't imagine going off to judge in a foreign country without a clue about their rules, system, or standards. I would find a way to be prepared in advance, even when a language barrier exists. It can and should be done by the visiting judge. Yeah, so I think what Joanne's trying to say, it's also a bit of the responsibility of the foreigner coming in to be aware of, differences in their rules and procedures.
And then Peggy Beisel McElwain, another friend of the show, I guess it would depend where they are from and how different their system is, and if they've judged in Canada before. Most foreign judges already have the breed standards of the different countries where they're judging. Would you scrutinize such all-rounders as Frank Kane, Paul Stanton, or Kay McGee? All judges have their preferences, regardless. Our judges that judge overseas also scrutinized as to their knowledge of the breed standards of the country, what they are evaluating? Yes, some especially judges from other countries and not all runners, but they would surely know the breed standards, the kennel clubs, the countries where they have been invited to judge. Yes, ring procedures might be an issue, especially for a specialty judge flown in. A good ring steward is a great asset.
And that's true too.
Yeah, so it's not so much about the standards, I think. I think it's more about procedure and how we work our awards. Because I think most judges that are visiting have standards for the place they're visiting. And they don't always, like as a handler, I've had arguments with judges that judge from their FCI standard, and I try to tell them, well, you're in Canada now.
You're not in the FCI.
You're allowed to have cream cheese in Canada.
Right. Exactly. Well, Anne-Marie Kubat, and she makes a valid point here. This is one of those times where it's unfortunate you don't have reps at the shows because they usually review the process with foreign judges in the U.S., and Anne-Marie is from the U.S., so she knows. Sending them some kind of information protocol in advance might be good so that they can have it translated if needed and at least read through what the procedure should be. Also think it's important that an experienced ring steward be with a foreign judge who is judging in any country for the first time. And once again, the ring steward, like people think, ring stewards aren't that important and vital to your show. They are extremely important and vital to your show. So,
and Pamela Shar, we got a lot of response here, and we can't say them all. Pamela Shar, friend of the show, she wrote, if it has been a while or never judging in Canada, it would probably be helpful for a brief tutorial. Since judging on an international basis is more and more common, a study either privately through reading or the tutorial would make sense. Yeah, but then CDGA, the Canadian Dog Show Judges Association, last week we had Steve Daynard on about that, and they've developed they've got a great package for information for judges now.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
So again, this week's question of the week: what effect do online keyboard warriors have on the future and the integrity of our sport? Do we want to do?
Well, that's brought to you by ProPlan. Fuel the champion within.
Right.
Do we have time?
I think we're out of time, Yvonne. It's been over an hour now.
Well, we got a really good kennel and bench for next week.
Yeah, kennel and bench for next week, and it'll save Megan from researching another one for us next week. Yeah. We already have it here. Okay?
Yes.
So. All right, Yvonne.
So don't forget to click like and subscribe to the podcast. And?
Well, I'm going to be at St. Catharines this weekend.
Oh,
and
right.
The first person that walks up to me and says, keyboard warrior, gets either a Dog Show Drive toque or a Dog Show Drive bag. Your choice. Yep. Keyboard warrior.
Keyboard warrior. All right.
That's right. All right, take us away.
All right. So everyone traveling to dog shows this weekend, stay safe, seatbelts on, glasses on. Till next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.